Just 1 month before military discharge, Jungkook reportedly clashes with BIGHIT over his career direction. Is this the calm before a storm? What is really happening between Jungkook and BIGHIT behind closed doors as the countdown to BTS member Jungkook's military discharge begins? With only 1 month remaining before his long-awaited return to civilian life, fresh rumors are now casting a dark cloud over what was expected to be a smooth transition. Fans across the world have been holding their breath, hoping for an explosive and emotional comeback. But new whispers suggest something far from harmonious is brewing between Jungkook and his agency, BIGHIT Music. Could this be the beginning of a major shift in Jungkook's path as an artist? According to industry insiders and anonymous sources within the company, a heated disagreement has reportedly occurred between Jungkook and BIGHIT regarding his future plans immediately following his military service. While BIGHIT allegedly has rigid plans in place, including a fast-tracked solo comeback and a possible group reunion, Jungkook, sources claim, is pushing for something entirely different. He wants time. He wants space. And maybe, just maybe, he wants to do things on his own terms this time, said a source familiar with the internal talks, Jungkook's post-military comeback, delayed or reimagined. While BIGHIT is reportedly eager to announce Jungkook's return with a global media campaign, lucrative endorsements, and possibly a 2025 world tour, Jungkook's own vision appears to be more intimate. Rumor has it that he is prioritizing personal healing, private time with family, and a spiritual or artistic retreat before returning to the limelight. Could this be the reason for growing tension behind the scenes? Jungkook is known not only for his talent, but also his dedication and perfectionism. After nearly 18 months in the military, during which he became a respected figure due to his discipline and physical transformation, it's understandable that the youngest BTS member might want more control over his future than ever before. Fans noticed something was off. The silence speaks volumes. Ever since early May, fans have pointed out that Jungkook has remained unusually silent, both in official BIGHIT updates and on social media. His absence has only fueled speculation. Some believe this radio silence is part of a larger PR strategy. Others aren't so sure. Why is Jungkook so quiet? We know he's near the end of his service. Why hasn't there been any teaser, message, or even a simple schedule hint? Posted one concerned ARMY fan on X, formerly Twitter. Could the silence be more than just coincidence? Could it be the product of internal disagreements? Where does Jimin fit into all of this? A silent witness or a hidden mediator? Interestingly, Jimin, who has served in the same military division as Jungkook, has reportedly been visiting Seoul on special leave and was seen near the BIGHIT building several times. Is he involved in these discussions? While nothing has been confirmed, fans speculate that Jimin might be trying to mediate between Jungkook and the label, ensuring that their bond as BTS brothers remains intact despite professional disagreements. Could Jimin be playing the role of a peacekeeper? Or is he preparing for his own post-military plans, which might diverge from Jungkook's, a future in flux, solo, group, or something else entirely? With Jungkook's past statements about creative freedom, mental health, and his desire to find deeper meaning through music, the idea of him postponing group activities to explore something more personal doesn't sound far-fetched. But how will BIGHIT, a multi-billion-dollar company with massive BTS-dependent projections, handle this? Will they bend to the will of their star artist? Or will this friction grow into something more serious? Speculation's on the table. Will Jungkook take a break or make a statement? Insiders say BIGHIT is hoping to issue an official statement regarding Jungkook's plans by mid-June, ahead of his discharge. However, if tensions persist, that timeline could be pushed. One former employee stated. The company is trying hard to keep this under wraps. But trust me, if Jungkook speaks out or walks away from the plan, it will shake the entire industry. Final questions that remain unanswered. Will Jungkook return immediately to the stage, or will he choose peace over pressure? Is the rift with BIGHIT a temporary clash of vision, or a sign of something deeper? Can Jimin or other BTS members bring everyone back together before the world watches them reunite again? Is this the first time a BTS member will openly delay a planned comeback to prioritize mental and emotional space? The contrast couldn't be more striking, and it's tearing fans in half emotionally. Just days after rumors of tension between Jungkook and BIGHIT shook the ARMY community, another member of BTS, Jimin, is making headlines for a very different reason. He's reportedly being honored with a rare military award, distinguishing himself for leadership and excellence during service. Jimin has shown exemplary dedication and unity, a military source stated, adding that his attitude inspired not only his own unit but those across other divisions. But as fans cheer for Jimin, many are now turning their eyes back toward Jungkook, the youngest, the golden magne, who, instead of celebrating with his young, remains shrouded in silence and speculation. Why hasn't Jungkook reacted to the news of Jimin's award? Why hasn't BIGHIT released even a standard congratulatory photo or joint statement? What is being kept from the public? An emotional gap fans can't ignore. Online platforms are filled with armies, creating emotional fan edits and tributes, some celebrating Jimin's rising stature in the military, others grieving Jungkook's apparent isolation. One trending hashtag on X, hashtag comeback Jungkook. Another, hashtag support Reimagined. Many fans believe Jungkook's silence isn't stubbornness or apathy, but a call for help, a subtle way of telling the world he's battling something deeper. A post by a longtime fan read, "He gave us everything before enlistment. Maybe he feels lost. Or maybe he's scared of what's waiting for him outside. Whatever it is, we'll wait for him, even if it takes longer than planned." Is this the first public fracture between BTS and BIGHIT? Industry experts say this could be the first real sign of friction between BTS and their label that goes beyond scheduling and PR delays. Unlike the past, when all 7 members moved in lockstep, this time, individual identity seems to be at the forefront, and Jungkook, who released the Golden album before enlistment and achieved massive global success as a soloist, is believed to be wrestling with the pressure of matching or exceeding that success once he's out. BIGHIT, of course, is said to have mapped out a comprehensive marketing campaign, but sources hint that Jungkook wants to scrap it in favor of something raw, artistic, less commercial. This, insiders say, is the heart of the disagreement. Jimin's silence is loud too. Is he being caught in the middle? Despite his award and growing prestige within military circles, Jimin has remained completely silent on all matters concerning Jungkook or BIGHIT. This silence is deafening. Fans wonder, is he staying neutral, or is he being pressured not to speak? A well-known military blogger recently wrote, "Jimin and Jungkook were inseparable in their early months of service. They trained together, they were seen joking together. But since March, there's been no known sighting of the two in the same space." Could this indicate a rift not just between Jungkook and BIGHIT, but possibly within BTS itself? What happens if Jungkook doesn't follow the comeback script? The possibility many fear, and some secretly suspect, is this: Jungkook may not be ready to return. And worse, he may not return the way BIGHIT wants him to. If Jungkook chooses to reject this standard comeback path, press tours, digital releases, commercial tie-ins, it would be a radical move. And it would put BIGHIT in the uncomfortable position of either forcing their biggest asset to comply or allowing him to delay, possibly indefinitely. Jungkook's fans, however, are standing firmly behind him. "We don't need a perfect plan," one fan tweeted. "We just need him happy, healthy, and on his own terms." Could this change the future of BTS's 2025 comeback, with only Jin and J-Hope currently discharged, and Jimin, Jungkook, RM, V, and Suga all nearing the end of their service within months of each other? 2025 was originally expected to be the year of BTS's rebirth. But if these fractures widen, if one member chooses independence while others are pulled toward reunion, could this mark the end of BTS as we knew them? Insiders are divided. Some say the group's bond is too strong to break. Others warn, this is not just a disagreement. It's the first visible crack in the empire. Is HYB losing control of its most precious artist as the world continues to celebrate Jimin's emotional military award and growing influence? The undercurrent within the industry tells a darker, more complex story, one that insiders say is sending shockwaves through the HYB building in Yongsan. Sources close to HYB have revealed that the label is entering a phase of delicate internal negotiations with Jungkook, who is reportedly refusing to sign off on his post-military comeback plans. Despite having only weeks left before his discharge, the company had everything lined up, one anonymous insider said. Brand deals, a global solo comeback campaign, even a documentary. But Jungkook is holding it all back. He says he needs space. But what is really behind this standoff? And is it true that Jungkook may be seeking complete creative control, regardless of whether it fits BIGHIT's timeline? A growing rift between individual vision and corporate strategy. Industry watchers have long speculated that the tension brewing between Jungkook and his agency isn't personal, it's philosophical. Jungkook, who has expressed his desire to live honestly and make music that feels real, may be clashing with BIGHIT's high polish, tightly choreographed rollout strategy. He doesn't want to be a product. He wants to be a person, said one source. In contrast, Jimin, now praised for his military conduct and seen as a natural leader, has embraced both roles, the loyal artist and the team player. His success has reignited conversations about who might become the next face of BTS as the group gears up for its long-awaited full reunion. And while Jimin remains gracefully silent, his success is now casting a longer shadow over Jungkook's growing resistance. Fans are torn. Do they support Jungkook's stand or worry for the future? Across social media, armies are walking an emotional tightrope. Some defend Jungkook's silence, seeing it as a stand for self-expression. Others worry that this cold war between artist and agency could derail the group's historic 2025 return. He deserves freedom, but the timing, it's just painful. One fan posted, "We waited for this moment for years. Please, just come back together." Has the pressure to live up to their past glory become too much? Or is Jungkook's decision to delay his return exactly what BTS needs to evolve? Even if it risks short-term chaos. Whispers of a private confrontation behind closed doors according to one unverified but persistent report. A private meeting between Jungkook and HYB executives took place earlier this month, one that ended abruptly. The alleged reason? Jungkook's refusal to approve the pre-written songs BIGHIT had commissioned for his solo comeback. He wants to write everything himself, one staffer claimed. He says if it doesn't sound like his soul, it's not worth releasing. The tension, apparently, was so thick that some staff members were emotionally shaken. BIGHIT, in a standard statement, denied any conflict, stating only, "We continue to support all BTS members in their individual and group journeys." But the silence from Jungkook remains. NO statements, NO leaks, NO comfort. Only silence. Jimin's role. Peacemaker, or caught in the crossfire. With Jimin rising to become a symbol of discipline and balance, speculation is growing about whether he has, or will, reach out to Jungkook in a private capacity. He was always the one Jungkook leaned on. A fan account shared. If anyone can bring him peace, it's Jimin. However, others argue that Jimin's alignment with military values and BIGHIT's messaging might put him in a complicated position, loved by fans, respected by his agency, and used as a comparison point, even when it's unintended. Could Jimin's success unintentionally alienate Jungkook further? Could HYB be hoping to leverage Jimin's momentum as a subtle push for Jungkook to fall in line? BTS's reunion at risk. Will Jungkook return at all? The stakes have never been higher, with millions anticipating BTS's 2025 reunion project. Any disruption involving the group's most globally recognized face could have major ripple effects, from canceled deals to delayed albums and even changes in leadership structure within HYB. There is even speculation that HYB is considering a contingency rollout for BTS's comeback that minimizes Jungkook's involvement in the early stages if he doesn't commit soon. There's no BTS without Jungkook, one ARMY fan page posted. Don't you dare think otherwise. Still, the clock is ticking. He's expected to complete service within a month, but if no agreement is reached soon, BTS's grand return may begin with a gap too big to ignore.